What is an IND submission and why is it a critical step in drug development? Before any new drug can be tested in humans, regulatory authorities must review its safety. This is where the Investigational New Drug application or IND comes into play. An IND is a formal request submitted to a regulatory agency such as the United States Food and Drug Administration seeking permission to begin clinical trials in humans. It acts as a bridge between laboratory research and human studies. The primary purpose of an IND is to ensure that the drug is reasonably safe to be tested in people. It provides regulators with detailed information about the drug's composition, manufacturing process, preclinical studies, and proposed clinical trial plan. The IND submission typically includes three main components. The first is preclinical data, which comes from laboratory and animal studies. These studies help assess the safety profile of the drug, including its toxicity and pharmacological effects. The second component is chemistry, manufacturing, and controls, often referred to as CMC. This section describes how the drug is made, its quality standards, and how consistency is ensured across batches. The third component is the clinical protocol. This outlines how the clinical trial will be conducted, including the study design, patient population, dosage, and safety monitoring procedures. Together, these elements allow regulators to evaluate whether it is safe to proceed with human trials. Before submitting an IND, many sponsors choose to request a pre-IND meeting with the regulatory authority. This is an important step that can significantly improve the chances of a successful submission. A pre-IND meeting provides an opportunity for the sponsor to discuss their development plan and receive feedback from regulators. It allows clarification on expectations for preclinical studies, manufacturing requirements, and clinical trial design. During this meeting, sponsors can present their data, ask specific questions, and address any potential concerns early in the process. This helps reduce the risk of delays or rejection after submission. The pre-IND meeting is not mandatory, but it is highly recommended, especially for complex or novel therapies. Early communication with regulators can save time, resources, and effort in the long run. Once the IND is submitted, the regulatory authority begins its review process. One of the most important aspects of this process is the 30-day safety review. After submission, the agency has 30 days to evaluate the IND. During this period, experts review all the data provided to assess whether the proposed clinical trial can proceed safely. The focus of this review is primarily on patient safety. Regulators examine the preclinical data to ensure that the drug does not pose unreasonable risks. They also review the clinical protocol to confirm that appropriate safety measures are in place. If the agency identifies any concerns, it may place the IND on clinical hold. This means that the trial cannot begin until the issues are resolved. The sponsor may be required to provide additional data, modify the study design, or address safety concerns. If no major issues are identified within the 30-day period, the IND becomes effective and the sponsor can proceed with clinical trials. It is important to note that approval of an IND does not mean the drug is safe or effective for general use. It simply means that the available data supports initial testing in humans under controlled conditions. The IND process is a critical checkpoint in drug development. It ensures that human subjects are protected and that clinical trials are conducted responsibly. It also establishes a framework for ongoing communication between the sponsor and the regulatory authority throughout the clinical development process. The IND submission is the gateway to clinical trials. Its purpose is to demonstrate that a drug is reasonably safe for human testing. The pre-IND meeting helps align expectations and address potential issues early. The 30-day safety review ensures that patient safety remains the top priority before any trial begins. Every new medicine must pass through this stage before reaching patients. It is a vital step that balances innovation with safety, ensuring that scientific progress does not come at the cost of human well-being. This is how the journey from laboratory research to human trials begins, with careful evaluation, regulatory oversight, and a strong commitment to safety.
Subscribe to MedPharma Global on YouTube. Get the latest medical and pharmaceutical updates. Click the subscribe button and join our community.